Okay, hi guys. Let's talk about stress and the amazing Pharmanex Cortitrol. Okay, a little bit about the different kinds of stressors. You can have emotional and mental stressors, such as excitement or worry or grief or anxiety. You can have physical stressors, such as fractures or muscle injuries or damage to your body. You can have chemical or biochemical stressors, such as bacteria in the body, intolerances to food, all of these things, even metal in teeth. And then you can have existing angst, which is just feeling a lack of purpose or meaning in life. These can all cause major stress in the body, but some of the obvious ones that I'm sure you guys relate to are just pressures of life and work balance, relationships, children, family worries, being a mom, having a business, being a partner, and have to take on all that we do take on, just overcommitting and taking on too much. I remember when I had my 4 young children, I decided it would be a good idea to take on the role of chairwoman of the school committee. Oh my gosh, was I mad? Not getting enough sleep, not eating properly, not having time to exercise. These are all life stresses for us moms. So who do you know who's stressed? If it's not you or your husband or partner, it's probably some friends of yours or family members. We all know people who are stressed. Life is just stressful. We overcommit and we've got too much on our plate. So the target market is everybody. Most adults at some point are stressed, and most of us have too much stress in our life, not just the odd one. So I'm going to talk about different kinds of stresses. There's stage 1, which is alarm or acute stress, which is actually healthy. And the stage 2, which is resistant or compensatory stress, which is not so healthy. And if you have too much of that not healthy, you can go into exhaustion phase. So acute stress is that fight or flight response that we get when maybe we're on our first date, or we have to do a public talk, or we have to go and see our boss for some reason, or maybe any situation. A bear's chasing you. If a bear chases you, you get increased heart rate, high blood pressure, your breathing gets faster, you maybe even sweat or get anxious, or your face goes red, headaches. All of this is quite normal and acute, but then your cortisol, which suddenly shoots up, comes back down to normal. That's fine. Unfortunately, when you go into chronic stress and have a long-term stress over a long period of time, and your cortisol levels are constantly high, way too high, and don't come back down, that's when you get the weight gain, especially around the waist. You get the fatigue, so you have a sleep, wake up in the morning, you've got no energy, you haven't recovered. You get carbohydrate and sugar cravings. And that's when it can affect your immune system, and it doesn't function so well. It doesn't fight off the bugs. And you can get memory issues. Your brain just can't work like it used to. If you don't deal with that and don't sort it out, it can lead to adrenal exhaustion. It can lead to all kinds of diseases, such as depression, diabetes, hypertension. It can affect your bones, and your muscles can become weak. We don't want to get to that stage. So the target market is we can help most adults keep that stress under control. So easy questions when you're talking to people, whether you want to do it on live, whether you want to do it online, whether you want to promote on your Facebook or Instagram or whatever social media platform you're on, or whether you're talking to people in person. You can mention, do you sleep properly? Do you fall off to sleep? Do you wake up in the night? Do you feel refreshed when you get up? You can talk about weight, excess weight, especially around the midriff. Can you not get rid of that excess tire, that belly around the waist? Or you can talk about their cravings for sugar, carbs, and their need for coffee. People will relate to all of that. So I'm going to tell my story. We've used Cortitrol in our family for 8 years now. Neil has a self-employed role where he's commissioned only. So every month, the beginning of the month, he starts with no income. And every month he knows he's got to feed 4 children. He doesn't have the passive income until I've created it. So that's the importance of having passive income too. Now, I take Cortitrol when my mind is spinning late at night. I come alive and I've got all these things going around in my head and I can't switch off. I know some of you will relate to that. Well, Cortitrol, you take it and instantly has that calming effect and just puts you into that lovely relaxed feeling that we all need. It's regulating the cortisol levels. So the solution of Pharmanex Cortitrol is it helps the body modulate healthy levels of cortisol. It's a nice dietary supplement that balances your body with magnolia bark, and theanine is the other two that I mentioned. Don't worry about the long, complicated words, but it's nice to know that your elevated cortisol levels can be calmed and therefore dealing with the obesity, hypertension, and fatigue issues. So, Cortitrol works by modulating healthy levels of cortisol to promote normal stress response. And bringing those cortisol levels back into the normal range will help lose that body fat that you've built up around. It'll help preserve the muscle mass so you don't fade away, and it will reduce the cravings and bring back the energy levels. And the two main ingredients that I always mention is the magnolia bark, because it has that relaxing effect, and the theanine, which lowers the cortisol, improves the mental function of the body. So it improves the mental concentration and the weight maintenance. So going back to who is your target market? Everyone. And the great thing about it is that because it works instantly, people can feel it almost as soon as they've had the tablet, that they know it's because they've taken the Cortitrol that their cortisol levels are being regulated. It's because they've taken that supplement that they are feeling calmer, that they're being able to sleep, that they're dealing with their stresses, and therefore they get an emotional bond, an emotional attachment to the results, and therefore you've got a customer for life. I hope this has helped.